YouTube? It's your boy Alex, man. We're back with another video. So we're gonna be watching this video by Basketball Reach titled "You Cannot Make Up What Luka Doncic Is Doing Right Now." So I just know that Dallas is balling out this season, and I think that Luka's struggling right now. So I don't really know what this video is about, unless I just haven't watched NBA basketball. I'm gonna keep it a buck in a while. So I just haven't been watching the games as of recently. So it should be a good one, especially by my guy Luka. Dude's an absolute killer. But if you guys like to see this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get right into it, man.
The only player to achieve the stat line that Luka Doncic just had against Golden State or better was Michael Jordan. And the complete list of players in NBA history to record a 45-point, 10 rebound, 10 assist, 2 steal, 2 block game was Jordan in 1989 and Nikola Jokic in 2022. That's it. Luka Doncic is absolutely back, and that's helped the Mavericks to go 8-2 over their last 10 games. In this time, Dallas had the best offensive
Yeah, so I'm tripping because it looks like Luka's doing absolutely fine. So I don't know what I'm talking about. But I could have sworn just a couple weeks ago he was struggling or something. I don't know, but I'm glad to see my guys doing well though. Just absolute dog on the court. He just needed help, and so I'm glad they got to play in the offseason, help him out on the perimeter. So should be fun to watch for us this season.
But it's another thing to continue to hoist up as many shot attempts as Luka Doncic did, and that led to an inconsistent start to the season for the Mavericks as a whole. However, when Luka sat out for a brief period of time due to a wrist injury, something surprising happened. Dallas started winning. They secured 2 major wins against the Denver Nuggets and OKC Thunder, showing that they could succeed without their star. But these wins highlighted a crucial point. For Dallas to reach its full potential, Luka needed to adjust his play style. The message was clear. Doncic had to move the ball more, take smarter shots, and play at a faster pace. Since returning from injury, he's averaged an impressive 30.8 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 9.3 assists, while improving his shooting splits to 53% from the field, 42% from 3, and 73% from the free throw line. As a collective, the Mavericks have been red hot offensively, which is because of how they're running their offense. Last season, Jason Kidd wanted them to change their offensive system to see if he could get this team running the ball more often, even in semi-transition. At first, it looked good as the Mavericks earned a playoff spot, playing great basketball to end the season. But once Luka came back with injuries, they were unable to run as much, which made them less effective. However, they were still able to make the NBA Finals, but they clearly weren't the same team before the injuries. But fast forward to now with Luka healthy, and they've been able to get back to their best as of late. This season, the Mavs are ranked 10th for pace, which doesn't sound like a dramatic improvement, but when you compare those numbers to the 2023 season before the team made the changes, they ranked as the 2nd slowest team in the entire league, rated 28th overall. Being a fast-paced
I'm shocked that they were rated 28th in terms of pace last year. You had Gafford, Lively. I thought you'd be throwing a lot of lobs, so I don't know. I guess they're just not playing fast enough, so I'm glad that they're able to get the pace up to 10th at least this year.
System with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, Jason Kidd knew exactly how they needed to play, and that was with a faster tempo, to allow them to get up more shots to then beat teams, and that's exactly what they've done this season. With Kyrie averaging 23.9 points on near 50-40-90 shooting, he has been terrific. And with these two guys scorching hot, that then gives open looks to Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, and Najee Marshall, and they've been knocking down 3 balls at a good enough clip. So their offense is currently the best in the world, but it's their defense that leaves a lot more to be desired. On season, Dallas have the 11th best defense in the league, which is actually very good. However, over the course of this 8-2 winning streak, they haven't been nearly a good enough defensive team to win a title, falling to the 26th worst defensive rating in the NBA, which is horrible. But because of the fact they've been scorching hot, they've been able to still win these games. Take the game versus Golden State, where even though they had a dominant win, they still gave the Warriors every chance to win the game themselves by allowing 4 Warriors to score more than 20 points, one of those being Draymond Green. But despite all of this going in the Warriors' favor, it still never really felt like a close game. Even though Golden State made a late push to get it to 5 points, it didn't matter. as Dallas made enough buckets down the stretch to keep Golden State down. Dallas just put up 143 points on the 4th best defense in the NBA, and they did it with ease, led by Luka's outstanding 45-point triple-double. When Luka was out with a wrist injury, it seemed like Dallas found their groove, and it was a big question mark whether they would stay as good when he came back, or if they would revert to some of their bad habits with Luka back in the side. But it seems like those concerns have been answered for the most part. Their offense is world class, and Luka's back to being an MVP candidate once more, while buying into a faster.
Yeah, Golden State's got to figure something out. I mean, you gave up 143 points to this Dallas team. I mean, I know they have two of the best dynamic. They have the best dynamic duo probably in the game right now. But I mean, you can't expect to seriously compete for championship if you're Golden State and give up that many points and you're the 4th rated defense. I mean, that's not acceptable, bro. You can't do that.
To an inefficient 16 points on just 5 of 15 shooting. However, Maverick fans were quick to point out that they were missing their Thunder killer, PJ Washington. And usually when a fan base says they lost because they didn't have a role player, it's not a valid argument. But when it comes to PJ Washington and the Mavericks' success, they've often come hand in hand. And the numbers back that up as well. So far, Dallas have a 1-5 record without PJ Washington, and that's due to how he unlocks this team when he's on the floor. Not only is he a solid defensive player, but he's also able to stretch the floor at that 4 spot, which completely opens up both their offense and defensive game at the same time. On the defensive side of the ball, he's been able to pick up more of the slack now that Derrick Jones Jr. is gone, as PJ Washington has the length and athleticism to stay with guys on the perimeter and down low. But to me, it's the offensive side of the ball that makes him so valuable. His offensive versatility always stands out to me when I watch Mavericks games, as he's able to not only knock down a 3 ball, which he's currently doing at a 37% clip, but he's also able to get into the lane using his highly underrated handles, where he can either score the ball with a floater or spray it out for a better look. You do have Luka and Kyrie, but when you're able to give the ball to PJ Washington at the top of the key to allow Luka and Kyrie to play off ball, it makes this offense so dynamic. The numbers speak just as loud as the eye test, as Dallas simply haven't been good without PJ Washington this season. Now, do I believe they could still contend for a championship even without PJ Washington? Yes, undoubtedly, but it would make it a much tougher task in my opinion. All of the numbers point to Dallas being a sleeping giant in the Western Conference, and when we look at all of the requirements for a modern championship team, the Mavericks tick all the boxes. They have the ability to perform at a top 10 level on both sides of the ball, as I expect their defense to get much better as the season goes on, similar to what happened last season. While on the offensive side of the ball, they're evolving into a team that's simply unguardable. By putting PJ Washington at the forefront of some offensive possessions here and there, that makes them so hard to stop. Actions that have PJ Washington handling the ball in the pick and roll situation with either Lively or Gafford have proven to be so dangerous, as not only does this put so much pressure on the rim, but it also leaves Luka, Kyrie, and Klay to space the floor, giving an opposition defense an impossible decision. Allow an easy paint attack either by PJ finish or an alley-oop to Lively or Gafford, or leave a quality shooter like Luka Doncic with space to operate. This really is a pick your own poison situation, and if the Mavericks can implement this more often, or even for multiple possessions in a row to throw a curveball at an opposition, this just ups their ceiling as an offensive team even more. They also have their MVP caliber player leading this team, which has also proven to be important over the last couple of years, while they arguably have the second best option in the NBA right now, with Kyrie Irving having an incredible year shooting the rock. With multiple proven scorers and one of the best three-point shooters in NBA history, this team is not easy to guard down the stretch of a tight game, as you can't really send a double team to anybody without giving up a high percentage look for another player, making the Dallas Mavericks a force to be reckoned with in the Western Conference. But these are just my takes. How good do you guys think Dallas is among their competition?
Alright man, so that's gonna do it for
out in that
Basketball
Western
Reach.
Conference?
It's unfortunate. I'm gonna say this real quick about Dallas. So just hopefully Luka's able to at least play the way that he's playing at right now, averaging like 30, 10, and 9 basically. His last couple games that he's been healthy, and so just going into the playoffs, like he can't just have that air style of basketball that he was playing in the past, where he's just like has a bad shot selection. Like he's got to be able to clean that up on the offensive side in order to give Dallas a chance to at least stay in some of these games, because their defense hasn't been the greatest in the world in terms of consistently being able to win these games, because over the stretch of their last 10 games, they're 28th, 26th in terms of their defensive rating. So they got to be able to clean that up in order for them to make like a deep playoff push. But Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, I think, are going to be great pieces for this team and their long-term future. And also BJ Washington's versatility is also a tremendous help for this team. The Klay Thompson addition, just hopefully that it's able to at least work out in the long run in terms of just being able to help their spacing and get it so that Luka and Kyrie can have some open shots on the offensive side of the ball. But I do like what I see from Dallas, and just hopefully that they can make a deep playoff push, because I know that the West is more competitive because you got teams like OKC. I don't know why I'm having such a brain fart, guys. Hold on. So you got OKC. I mean, Denver's still trying to get their act together. You got Phoenix. You got, the Clippers. I mean, they're doing all right, but you got Memphis. I mean, you just got some teams in the West that you got to really look out for and just be saying like, hey, you got Minnesota. Yeah, it should be good for them. Just hoping that they can get their act together and just be able to clean things up. So if you guys like this video, make sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you in this one. All right, peace out.